and today I will be talking about baby products that I have loved using so far and have not loved using so far. My little Jace has turned 2 months just this past Friday, and we've had some really good luck with a lot of things and then really not so good luck with other things, so I'm here to share with you. Be sure, if you're new to my channel, that you go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and you will be updated with more content about baby things, or Disney Teacher Life, or Disney Adventures, or just our little family. So one thing I'm going to talk about is pacifiers. I remember when I was pregnant, a lot of my friends would tell me, you never know what your baby's going to like. Your baby might like this, might not like that, so don't just get a bunch of one thing, because you never know what they're going to like. So I actually do have a variety of pacifiers. We have just your generic, usual pacifier, which he typically seems to love that one a lot. We have the other ones, I don't really know what these are called, but these are the ones that I personally like a lot, but he doesn't really care for them very much. I think they're just still too big for his mouth. I'm hoping that eventually he will learn to love them. And then we have these pop pacifiers, which is kind of hit or miss with those. And the thing about them is that they're kind of sensitive, so if he hits it wrong or if it falls wrong, it pops right back in very easily. So those are kind of, I'd say, like a hit or miss there. Another baby product that we really like, or that I really like, is the medicinal pacifier. You use a syringe to put the medicine in the pacifier, and then it's a pacifier and the baby's gonna suck on it. And sometimes I have to hold it because obviously it kind of is heavy, there's liquid in it. The only medicine that I've had to use really so far is peppermint tea, which is something that I've had a friend tell me, and older women in my family that, you know, my aunts and my mom and stuff like that, tell me they used for babies when they were congested, like when we were younger. So when he's congested, I just make some tea. I put like a really itty bitty amount of sugar in there, and that's what I give him his tea from. And it's like about 1 teaspoon is the amount that you can put in there. Bottles. Bottles are another thing, kind of like pacifiers, where don't buy a bunch of them until you're for sure. I am an interesting person. I do not like to go with what everybody else is going with. I just like to be different. So actually before I went into the registry and picked bottles out, Rob picked out these Comotomo bottles. I think I'm saying that correctly. And basically it's a silicone, and as he's eating, it's suctioning in, it's not letting air in to him and all that good stuff. So we've really enjoyed using those. I also got these Boon bottles, and we have 6 of them. We have 3 small ones and we have 3 big ones. The small ones go to 4 ounces, the big ones go to 8 ounces. We've truly enjoyed using them. The biggest issue that I've had from them has been if I don't pay attention to how I'm putting the lid in or how I'm putting the silicone inside the plastic. If you don't put it correctly, then the formula starts, or whatever you put in there, the milk starts to spill out. So just make sure that you're tightening all that stuff around. We have had to, since we are giving him cereal in his bottle, we also have to cut open some of the nipples. So what I did was I used the stage 1 nipples, and I cut those open because we can't really use them anyway anymore. So why not use those? And then when we have our next one, if we need stage 1 nipples, I can just go buy those as well. But I haven't really had many issues out of these. I think sometimes the cereal gets stuck in the nipple, but luckily to shake it up. But I don't know if that's just probably every bottle that it does that too. A baby product that we have that we did not like is we got I think it's a Kind bottle warmer. It never worked for us. I tried to, it never worked, the water never warmed up. So I don't know if it just came to us broken or if I broke it. I have no idea. But we've been doing the good old fashioned, use a cup and some water, put the bottle in it, and it works just as well. So that's what we've been doing. And at nighttime, I actually have a mug warmer that my friend got me for Christmas or my birthday one year. And I leave the cup on there at night so that I don't have to keep coming to the kitchen to warm up the cup and take it back in there, and they just take forever. I just go in there, grab the bottle out the fridge, and stick the bottle inside the cup. One thing I did learn about doing that is when I leave that warmer on, the water evaporates out of the cup, so by the morning, there's literally very little water in there. So I've started taking just a lid and covering up the cup so that the water evaporates back into the cup instead of out into the air. So breastfeeding is hard enough as is, but it sucks when you don't have a good pump. I actually enjoy using my pump for the little bit of time that I got to use it. I didn't get to breastfeed for very long. I had a very lazy baby. He did not want to have to work to get the milk out, and then me trying to get the milk out, it was a whole process. But I love my breast pump. It is the Freemie Cup. I was able to get it free through my insurance, so that is a big tip. If you don't know that, you can get a free pump through your insurance. I went online, picked out what I want. My friends had told me about it. I had several friends tell me about it, and they said it's just wonderful because you can pump literally anywhere. You take little cups, you put it in your bra, and you take a little pump itself, you clip it on somewhere, and you can move freely. Going back to the insurance company thing, I don't know if it's every insurance company, but mine specifically did not ship my pump out until Chase was born. I was not allowed to do anything till he was born. Like, I was allowed to go in and fix everything and put all of my info in, but the day he was born is the day that I could go and say it's time. So that was kind of annoying. But it did come pretty quickly. So I had Jace on a Monday. It came by Thursday. You can use this with both pumps, like you're pumping both of them, or you can use it with one. I typically, if I'm using just one, I detach it from the entire cord and just stick that one cord into the pump so that's a stronger suction. I also learned that you get a better suction when the speed is high, but the suction is high, the speed is low. Hold on, let me look at it. If you have that combination, then it's pumping more. I learned this by YouTubing it. I literally YouTubed it. YouTube is the answer to everything. I was having a hard time trying to pump twice, like both at the same time, and nothing would come out, and I was getting frustrated with that. But then I learned that little trick. Another good tool to help with breastfeeding, my pediatrician, or his pediatrician, suggested we get the Hakka. It's like H-A-A-K-A-A, something like that. I'll look it up and I'll put it here. But anyways, that is a lifesaver. So what I would do is I would feed him on one side, and then when he kind of was done with that one side, I would flip to the other side, and I would put it on that side that he just was on, and it would kind of just drain whatever else was in there. I really liked it. When we first got it, we used it completely wrong, but then I looked up how to use it on YouTube, and we learned how to use it, which I'm gonna put a demonstration in here somewhere. The Boon drying racks. I got the drying racks and I got the travel case. The travel case came with the 2 brushes and then just some grass. We used that when we were at my parents' house because my first 2 weeks I had to stay with my parents in Georgia because I couldn't leave because I had a C-section. Here we had the actual big Boon things, and I actually moved the brushes out of the travel case onto the actual Boons that we have on the counter, because that's what I use to wash his bottles and everything. What I love about it is you have so much storage. I mean, I put on my registry every single individual little Boon thing. I think there's one thing that we weren't able to get, but everything else came. And it has so much space for you to put your nipples and your pacifiers and whatever else you got going on. It works. One product that I saw a lot on YouTube that is kind of like hit or miss, either people really loved it or people really hated it, was the MamaRoo. We got the MamaRoo because one of my best friends, she had it for her son, and I thought it was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. And then I started seeing really bad reviews about it. Personally, for us, our child liked it. It's been fine for us. The only thing is that for the amount of money you pay for it, it doesn't last very long. Like, he is starting to get bigger, and the bigger that he gets, he's not gonna be able to use it, obviously. but we also plan on having a second one, so obviously we'll use it when we have that one. It has a lot of different features on it. You can do music, you can change the settings as to how fast you want it to go or which movement you want to do, and we typically do like the wave, or we do the rockabye, or the tree swing. Once in a while we'll do the car ride. Kangaroo we just don't like, we think it's a little too crazy, especially if your baby has a weak stomach and has a lot of reflux. I would not put them in it and have it move immediately, because then they'll spit up everywhere, which we typically will put like burp cloths behind him or something to kind of catch anything that he spits up. But when we feed him, we just let him lay in it, which he's happy with that too. He just lays in it and he's good. Rob takes it to his room and has him hang out in there whenever he's on dad duty. I mean, we just use it all the time. One more really good thing about it is you can take that black piece off, or whatever color you have, because it's different colors. Unzip that off and you can wash it, because they're gonna spit up or get pee or something in it. So you can unzip it, put it in the washer. I don't know how to get the straps off. I've still been trying to figure that out, because he did get some spit up on those and I really want to clean it, but for now, that's just what it is. So don't get discouraged to not use the MamaRoo, because your baby might like it. In our case, our baby loves it, he uses it. I have in here, it's inserted somewhere, I know it's playing him in it. He's very peaceful when he's in it, so it's not all bad. Something else that we have that you either love or you hate is the Halo Bassinet. I love the Halo Bassinet, it's in my room. We have a lot of sleeping beds for Jace. Jace pretty much has something to sleep in every single room that we have here. But I love the Halo Bassinet. I love that it is right there by my bed. I can swivel it to me. I can put he's right there next to me so I can see him. I have his blankets. If I put a blanket in there, one thing I saw is to tuck the sides in. Like, you never want to leave a baby unsupervised with a blanket, but I also just tuck the sides in, then I'm always checking on him to make sure that it's in. If it comes untucked because he's squirming around, I just tuck it right back in. I also put typically a burp cloth or a swaddle blanket that I use as a burp cloth behind his head or under his head, so that if he does spit up, it kind of preserves the mattress cover. The mattress is plastic, like it's not really plastic, but it's a wipeable material. So if your child spits up on it, it's not gonna ruin the mattress. You can wash the cover, but I like to kind of prolong the cover, so I put down something under him. It has a lot of different settings. You can do a night light, you can have music lullabies on it, you can also have vibration settings. There's another setting, like kind of like a mom rocking setting, but I don't really know how that works. I've been trying to figure it out. I've tried YouTubing it, don't know what it does. If you know what it does, comment below, let me know, because he still can use it and I would love to use that feature before he can't fit in the bassinet anymore. Now, he is 2 months, but he is sleeping in his crib. We've had him sleeping in his crib from when he was 3 weeks old. Before, like in the beginning, we had him sleeping only in the daytime in his crib just so he could get used to it. But now he's actually sleeping full time, like nap time at 12 o'clock in the crib and 9 o'clock at night in the crib all night. So I'm not using the bassinet as much as I was before. Then I do use it in the mornings though. Like when I pull him in around 6 in the morning, whenever he wakes up at that time, that's when I go ahead and pull him into my room, because I'm relaxing watching TV and I don't want to have to take him back to the crib. And it's time for us to hang out anyway. You can adjust the height according to your bed, so you can make it higher, you can make it lower, whatever you want to do. Another big thing that I like about it, or not really like about it, but it is heavy. It doesn't move anywhere. So if you want something that you can move around the room to wherever you want to, it's not very movable. And it's very heavy, like I said. So before I was able to kind of slide it on my wood floor, but now I'm on carpet and it's not gonna slide. So typically I'll have to get Rob to shift it over for me, or I kind of have to jerk it around myself. The Owlet, love the Owlet. It is definitely an expensive purchase, but I do love it. We actually got the camera and the sock, like we purchased them together. And what I love about the camera is you can see what's going on. It has night vision. I can zoom in on my app so that I can see him closer if I want to see like what his face looks like, because sometimes it can, based off of the Wi-Fi, it can kind of blur. And it also has a temperature read on it. So if the room is too hot or too cold, it'll say that the room is too hot or too cold. And when the room is just right, it says the room is just right. Has great sound. It is a little bit delayed, but I think that's because our Wi-Fi is not fully, like it says it's fair, like it's not the best Wi-Fi showing on the camera. So when something happens in the room, I'll hear it on my phone about 3 seconds later. And we can also talk into it. So if I'm in there doing something, then if Rob sees something going on, or if he just wants to mess with me, which he typically does, he'll talk to me through the camera. The sock, absolutely love it. It tracks his heart rate and his oxygen levels. He was born with a heart murmur, so that is something that we do kind of look at a lot. But if something's going wrong, it's going to make an alarm noise. There's different alarm noises that it makes. There's like an alarm for if it's not within range. There's an alarm for if it doesn't have a reading at all. So like if I have the sock but I don't have it on him, it's not reading anything. And there's also an alarm for if his levels go too high or too low. I'm going to insert some footage here of the packaging and also of how I put the sock on him and the base station and all that other stuff. Another product that I see that's kind of like you love it or you hate it, actually I've mostly just seen people say they hate it, is a wipe warmer. I love my wipe warmer. The biggest complaint that people have is that it is a luxury thing and your baby doesn't need to have warm wipes, which is true. It is a luxury thing and your baby does not need to have warm wipes. My baby gets exposed to warm and cold wipes. It does help me when I'm changing poop because I am kind of like, I get grossed out, and just because he's my baby does not mean that I like touching his snot and his boogers and his poop and his spit like it's all gross to me. So when I use a warm wipe, it kind of makes it easier for me to get in there and do what I need to do versus using a cold one. I'm just like, ugh. Another thing that people say is that the wipes dry out, which I have not really experienced that. I typically experience the top wipe being dry, but the wipes inside the warmer have not really been dry for me. I mean, but we're using it all the time, so maybe that's why. The top one, typically I'll just take it and kind of tuck it back into the hole so that it keeps its moisture. So I don't really experience dry, warm wipes. Another hit or miss item that people either love or hate is a Boppy. So I, in the beginning, used the Boppy when I was breastfeeding. It was difficult because he'd be really high up and it just was uncomfortable and I felt like I just had no room. So for breastfeeding, I didn't really enjoy using the Boppy as much, but I used it to kind of help him. But now that I'm not breastfeeding anymore, we use the Boppy for him to sit up in, to lay down in, and for tummy time. And when I have him sitting up in it, typically I'll put the Boppy on a chair, typically like Rob's big recliner chair. And then I'll put his Mickey Mouse headrest around kind of his body, that were part of his body. And then I'll put blankets behind him just to kind of help him get that sit up, because he does like to sit up now. That's what he wants to try to do. He wants to be able to look around. When I have him lay down on the Boppy, I typically put down a cloth behind him so that if he spits up, then it goes on the cloth and not the cover, and I don't have to wash everything. He likes laying down on the Boppy, and it elevates him a little bit. Also, I do the same thing when I put him on tummy time. I put a cloth down. So a Boppy for us has been a win situation. We use it with maximum potential. This is Jason, his little onesie. I absolutely love this onesie. My friend made it for me. Storm Pooper. Goes with Disney because I love Disney. Of course, it's my life. And then the back is even more adorable. And I'm gonna be really sad when he can no longer wear it. Like, I'm definitely gonna probably save this outfit somewhere to put in a shadow box. We love our crib. The crib that we got, it is one of those, it changes through stages. As he gets older and bigger, we can let it grow with him. And we went ahead and got all the pieces for it so that in the future when we have to change it, we don't have to worry about trying to find those pieces. Some people don't like cribs because they don't ever use them. We like a crib because we had talked way before that we were gonna start off crib training really early, especially because I had to get back to work and he works an hour and a half away, so we wanted to make sure that we had a nice stable sleep time down in the crib, not having to be with us. We didn't want him in the bed with us. We didn't want him next to us while we're trying to sleep to get ready for work the next day. So for us, a crib was not a waste of money because we use it all the time. That's where he sleeps. That is his life. We also have a dresser that goes with his crib. We decided not to go with getting a changing table. We wanted to get a dresser so that he could use that in the future, whereas a changing table, he can't really use it. What we did is we got the changing table pieces and put them on top of the dresser, and then when he no longer needs to be changed on a changing table, then that can go away and he still has the dresser. One more baby product that I'm going to talk about that I really, really like is our stroller. I'm going to insert what it is here because I don't remember off the top of my head what it is, but I love our stroller. It has the typical car seat in it. It's in my car because since I have him most of the time, then we decided to get the car seat with the that goes with the stroller, the whole travel system. So I use that all the time. It snaps into the car, snaps out, snaps into the stroller. The stroller is actually kind of framed like a snap and go. So once you get it's a very light frame by itself. Take it out, or it's not like super light, but it's about maybe a tad bit heavier than a snap and go, but I mean, it's not terrible because I'm a weakling and I can handle it. But you snap it into the stroller. You can snap it into the stroller front ways or back ways. Right now, we have him facing us because that's age appropriate. There's also another piece that comes with it as well. It is like when he gets bigger, kind of like when you go to, like when you're just out and about and you have a bigger kid in a stroller, it suits him better. The other big thing about it is it can be a bassinet. So when we go places and I know we're gonna be there for like a long time, I'll take that piece with us so that if he decides that he wants to sleep, he doesn't have to sleep like on the couch or like on me or in Rob's arms or whatever. He can sleep in that bassinet itself. So those are a lot of our baby products that we really, really like or regret buying. I think I probably only talked about one thing that I regretted buying, but I kind of try to give the pros and cons of each thing that we had. I forgot to give a con about the Owlet. The Owlet, it works off of Wi-Fi, so an internet connection. So if you don't have good Wi-Fi or internet connection, it's probably not the best route for you because you're not going to get the most accurate readings. Because even sometimes if our Wi-Fi goes out for whatever reason, like if there's a storm or something and the Wi-Fi goes out, then I'm not going to get a reading on his sock where it'll tell me his levels. And I'm also not going to be able to use the camera because it's connected to Wi-Fi. I hope that this video helped you to decide on some baby products that you wanted if you were on the fence about it or you didn't like it. I hope that this helped to see a different perspective on some of the baby products. And if you have not yet, be sure to subscribe to my channel for future videos. If you like this video, be sure to like it and comment below what your favorite products were. Thanks.